Today's card of the day is Future Sight. 2 and a blue and a blue and a blue for an enchantment with play with the top card of your library revealed. You may play the top card of your library. Is the inevitable any less miraculous? I don't know. Maybe it is. I think that flavor text is really juicy too because it's like, whoa, that's on top of my library and I know it. And it's like, just because you pick it up, is it any more crazy that you drew it? I don't know. That's like deep. I'm also 14, by the way. Or 13. Is it separate at 13 and deep or 14? I don't know. One of those. Anyways, this card is spicy. I was really like determining what card I should do today. And this one came up because I really do enjoy the idea of revealing what you have to someone with the trade-off of being able to use that to my advantage and that your opponent knows what you can potentially do, but not everything. And having that loom over their head is the best feeling ever. I I want you guys to play this card, and when you do, just understand what's happening at the table. I've had it played against me a few times, and I played it a few times. I will say, when I've played against it, and I saw a counterspell in someone's library, you know what I'm doing? I'm passing turn. I'm playing that land. I'll play that like 2 drop because you're not gonna waste that 2 mana counterspell on a 2 drop maybe, unless it's like some crazy game winner and passing because I'm just waiting for the next person to get their stuff countered. So that way I'm free to play myself and not get my card countered, right? I want to play my 9 mana sorceries without getting countered for 2 mana. You know how bad that feels? That's why this card is like kind of crazy to think about. And all the better is that if you're actually playing this card and you're not using a card from your hand, it's essentially just drawing a card from your library. Like imagine using that counter spell, that extra card just being in your hand when you're playing Future Sight. It's really nice because not only are they down one card, but you essentially didn't use any cards for that. It was essentially just 3 mana, stop whatever someone else was doing without using a card from your hand. And that's just gold. That's just free real estate. Okay? And you can also play cards on top of your library. Uh i.e. you can play like lands. So if you play this in turn 5 and you have nothing else to do, maybe you didn't even play a land this turn, play the Future Sight, bam, whip a land off the top. You know what? The next card you have, it's a Swan Song. So you know what? You're just gonna pass with that 1 mana open and having that Swan Song looming over one's head. Oh, chef's kiss. It's so good, so good. The only bad thing I would have to say about this card is, from my personal point of view, was the mana value, the cost of the mana value cost. I'm trying so hard not to say converted mana cost because I'm so used to it. And that's just because the 2 blue pips, the 3 blue pips, I almost mispipped it when I was reading the card for the day. It's so hard to hit if you're playing more than 2 colors because you have to like hit the blue lands as most as possible and use them. So like maybe you'll probably be tapped out of blue if you're playing too many colors, and then you can't even use that counter on top of your library. But perhaps you can use a different colored spell, which is kind of fine, which is kind of decent still. But it definitely does make it a bottleneck for this card. If you're playing like a 2 color and less, this card is just, oh, it's so good. It's so good. And the best part too, unlike its Magus counterpart, is it's so hard to deal with. So it becomes like an enchant. It's like Restricted Study, I suppose, in that case. But this one sort of, I think, more so guarantees the card because it isn't reliant on opponents. I think this is what makes it a little bit better than Restricted Study. Granted, Restricted Study probably is better because if you're playing more cutthroat metas, that's a whole different situation. That's a whole different scenario. Okay. Anyways, this card is, it's juicy. It's juicy. Yeah, playing lands every turn off the top of this is probably nice. If you have more top deck shenanigans like a Future Sight, or if you have, fetch lands. So many people play fetch lands, even if they're like not even using the expensive fetches. There's like evolving wilds with this. Ups your chance of like hitting an actual crucial spell on top of your deck, maybe interaction or even just spell you want to play, and not having it use a card from hand. It's just so good. It's just so good. Unless you're playing like in a red meta, I suppose, then you have like to worry about wheels that people might use. But other than that, like using cards from your deck instead of your hand, it's just like you have so much more options to do after that. It's so good. It's, I think in some CDH pods people play this. But yeah, anyways, my verdict, good card. Probably don't want to play it in, it depends on your deck, but less powers you have, the better. I would say you play in all metas down, just because it's like value. It's just free value, right? And it's hard to deal with because it's enchantment. Anyways, Thanks guys for watching. Tell me what you guys think about this in the comments below. Peace out, and I'll catch you guys next time.